How's everybody doing today? Tinkering with Harleys. Well, first I'd like to thank all of you who have subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching these videos and enjoying them, by all means, please subscribe. So today we are on the final phase of that bike that had the oil leak at the primary. Now, if you've been following these, we got a good use primary and outer primary because both of those were cracked. Today we're going to finish it up, and that will finish this particular series. So, all that being said, we'll get on with it. So what we're going to be doing today is taking in and adjusting this primary chain. This particular primary chain gets adjusted to between 5/8 and 7/8 cold. Now what you want to do when you do this, because you're going to have to rotate the engine, you want to take your spark plugs out so there's no compression, which I've already done. You want to make sure it's in high gear, which I've already done that also, and that way I can either spin the back wheel or use this to turn the motor over to get the primary chain where I want it. So I've already marked on a ruler. I don't normally do this, but I did it for the video. This needs to go like that. And if you can see, it goes way, way, way beyond where it should be. So we're going to adjust it up. So to adjust it, this is a 9/16 bolt or nut. You just crack that enough that you can slide it. And then tighten it up enough that it'll hold. Don't tighten it all the way down. And then you check your measurement. Okay, that's right at 5/8. Could come a little bit more, but we're going to spin the motor over to get it to the low point. Now that's at 5/8. We'll spin it over again. And it's looking pretty good. Might have hit it the first time out, but we want to get it to the lowest spot in the chain. And that's the high spot right there. That's the tightest part. Okay. That's right at 5/8 there. That's the tight part of the. Okay. Five eighths. And you want to do this, you can do it hot, but it changes when it's hot. When the camera's facing away from me, I can't see it, whether it's recording or not, and I got to keep checking it. Okay, it just needs to come up just a tad bit more. Five eighths. Five eighths. Five eighths. That's good. We can lock this down. And that's it. Primary chain is adjusted. So now we can go ahead and we can get the rest of this buttoned up, and we will be done with this bike. Okay, now we're ready to put the outer primary on. Okay, now what we've done here, we're going to put the gaskets on. Now the gasket that goes here and here, there's two of them, two little donuts. I've already used RTV and put them on the outer primary to hold them in place so they don't jump around while we're trying to put it on or drop one. Now we're going to put the primary gasket on. And the primary gasket goes on like this. Now this is a James gasket. It has sealant already on it. It's a dry sealant, it's silicone. And that holds on there just like that. Now we will put the primary on. And the primary is now on there. Check around to make sure the gasket's seated. And it is, and now we'll get some bolts in there to hold it in place. Now I've already put Loctite on these. Put one here. And I don't want to take my hand off it because those two little donuts in there I don't want to fall out. And we're just going to snug this one so it's in place. And then we're going to take one of the front ones and put that in place. And the same thing, we'll just snug it down to make sure it's good. Okay, now we can let it go. Now we can put the rest of the bolts in. Now you got two size bolts that go into this. The longer ones go in here up on top and behind it. And then after we get that all done, we'll take and snug it down and we'll torque it to specs. And then this bike will finally be done and the guy who owns it will be riding it. I like those James gaskets because they've got the sealant on them. And it really does make a big difference. Except when you have to take it off, because then you got to clean it off. But they work very well. And they're about the same price as a Harley gasket, I believe. Now, better get my knee out of the way. I got the camera where I can't see it. So, I got to keep checking the camera to make sure it's recording. Come on, there you are. And one more. And that's it. The primary's on there. Now we're going to torque it down. And this is where when you have a service manual. Now I've got a lot of service manuals on CD. That's how I can do so many different bikes, but I don't know if you can see that. There is the sequence for torquing it. So we'll start to torque it. And this gets torqued to between 80 and 108 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. Okay, number one is right here. And we'll just snug it up a little bit more. And number two is right here. We're kind of doing this in stages to make sure everything is equal. Number three is here. Oh, we'll put this up here like this so I can see it. So I don't have to keep picking it up. Do this a different way. There's one guy that I follow on YouTube, excellent mechanic. He goes by Pacific Mike, and he uses a music stand, which I thought was really, after you think about it, it's a good idea because you can set it right up next to you, and you don't have to mess around like what I'm doing right now. And if you ever want to know anything about, if you got a pan head or a knucklehead, a shovel head, he is the man. Okay, number four is right here. Number five is here. Number six is here. Number seven is here. Eight is here. Come on. Nine is here. 10 is back here. 11 and 12. Okay, now we're going to torque. And we're actually doing these at 100 pounds. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we're going to turn it up just a shade and do it one more time. We're going to turn it up to 108. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we're done. Now we're going to throw this on and the cover, but that I'm not going to do on camera. They're very simple to do. So this bike is finally done. I just have to throw the inspection cover on it and put oil in it and both inspection covers on and take it down off the jack, and the guy who owns this bike can finally have it back and go riding. So this has been a long time coming. So one of the things I want to stress again is, for whatever bike you have, get a service manual. Now, like I said, I have them all on CD and on my computer, so I can get just about any bike I need to work on. But it's really important, especially for torque specs. I mean, and the service manual has everything in it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from it. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank all of you who have subscribed. It's great. Keep the comments coming. If you're watching these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, by all means, please do. So until the next time, thanks for watching, and everybody be safe out there.